Hello my dear Aries, this is your love and spirituality reading for the month of March 2019 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. We are soon entering into Pisces season, so happy birthday to all Pisces out there. And I read for the signs in order of most liked videos, and if you do hit that thumbs up button, you are truly helping my channel to flourish here on YouTube, so thank you for that. And you can see the order I read in this time around at the community section of my channel. And thank you all for liking, watching, commenting, donating and subscribing to my channel. I am super grateful for all of your appreciation. This is a general reading for Sun, Moon and Rising sign. The reading can go both ways. The drama is the same, but it can be different castings to the different roles by the universe. And for this reading I used the Crystal Tarot by Elisabetta Trevisan. And I will start shuffling your cards. So, when I open your deck here, Aries, I see Death together with Knight of Wands. So, Scorpio, Sagittarius energy. And it might be that there's some kind of ending going on with a fire sign. Or that there's some deep transformation, because both of these cards are very spiritual, but it's usually very hard to reach to this spiritual transformation. It's a lot of challenges and also a lot of sacrifices. But we can see they are both riding on pale horses. One has a lance and the other one has this skite going to harvest. Okay, harvest souls. And here we see we come from trouble, but it becomes much more enlightenment and fun here. So it might be like a person have been maybe dealing with big hardships, not being able to know the direction of their life, deciding to go on a journey, maybe travel over the world, sitting in an ashram silent for a few weeks and maybe backpacking around. So this thing led to this thing. So the bad thing in the past that we sometimes want to run away from, we see these boats are traveling like this, it can be a designation for something great. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light, and here we have the Eight of Wands. That's also Sagittarius with the Death card. So it seems like there's a rapid transformation happening. It might also be some kind of change of location. Might be someone deciding to travel and leave you behind, or you decide to travel and leave someone behind. This might also be the message that you have been waiting for. Someone might sacrifice their ego for the benefit of forward movement, and that would of course be amazing. Okay, so I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world, and here we see the Two of Chalices together with the Death card. So Two of Chalices first, Death card after. Probably might be a little bit difficulties in relationship during March. It might be a danger of relationships ending or transforming, but change is kind of inevitable. We can't prevent change. We need to have change. If there's not change, we will all become frozen in time without development. So there's some kind of transformation, deep transformation going on in a love relationship, maybe between soulmates. So you might be dealing with another fire sign, or this is just solely happening within you. It might be that you leave some troublesome or some, it's not trouble, it's beautiful Two of Cups, but with the dark clouds here and the cloak, it might be that someone is running away from the love that they feel towards another person. So trying to fill the emptiness and the void, maybe with something new, trying to reach this something new. I'm not sure this is the right way to go just yet. We'll see with the devices what comes through, but running away sometimes is a good thing. Then it's kind of, you're naming it move on. But sometimes it's just leaving things unresolved. Okay. So it might be someone having a plan to kind of tell you the truth and then running away. Okay, so they might be very scared of reaching out to you, and so they will reach out, but they will also have a plan of moving away. So if you ditch them, they can still have this, it's like an umbrella parachute. So yeah, okay, it doesn't matter that she didn't want me back, or didn't want me us to start a relationship. I was anyway going to Asia, or I was doing this thing, I was going to focus on my career, so it doesn't matter. So the person can save their ego a little bit by that. So 6 elements, maybe I already said it, I'm starting to get confused here. 5 of Swords together with Death. So this is probably what we are running away from, some kind of conflict, or it come this part of this song, it's Hallelujah, and I seen your flag on the marble arch. Love is not a victory march, it's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. So that kind of mean you can't win in love. The only thing you can do is to sacrifice yourself on the altar of love, and be baked like bread and into the oven, and yeah, just because it burns doesn't mean you're going to die. So it's about living life fully and being prepared to sacrifice oneself. That is the price to pay for going through this transformation. A person that avoids to go through this transformation will also avoid to sacrifice their ego on the altar of love, and they will stay frozen in time. Okay. So that's the possibility. It might be split here, where different areas will go different ways, and different areas partners will choose different things. So, wow. Magician and the 7 of Cups. I'm thinking someone is trying to avoid difficult feelings. So they're trying to manipulate, or, turn and twist things to their favor. So I call the 6 elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Aries viewers. So I want my dear Aries to have love in their lives and to find themselves, Hierophant, Queen of Swords, in loving relationships. So Hierophant and Queen of Swords is kind of someone is seeing through the bullshit. It's not going to take it anymore. Yeah, Queen of Swords and the 10 of Wands, not going to take it anymore. So I also want you to have creative success and be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. Okay. So, my dear Aries, interesting. So I'll just tune in for a few seconds to you and the energy of March for, a little bit here. Comes to mind here this saying that in love, there is the one that yields is the one that wins. Okay, they win the relationship, they win the love, but it's not always going that smoothly. But if you have done everything in your power to show and share love, you are not going to have a guilty consciousness the one day you need to walk away, because then you did everything in your power to steer the ship in the right direction. If you, on the other hand, have kept your feet dry, see to that other people are maybe swimming around in the puddle of water while you are safe on your raft, you haven't done everything in your power to steer the ship with the different people that was involved in this relationship or these relationships. You haven't done everything in your power to make you all reach dry land. So in that case, you will probably still have a lot transformation to go through. The person that sacrificed themselves on the altar of love will have paid the price for transformation and be allowed to move further on with their spiritual growth and going through initiation and ascension process. But the people that refuses to sacrifice their ego like this will remain stuck in time. And we have this with the new earth and the old earth and the dimensional, like when you make a choice, you might end up in that dimension and other people might end up in that dimension. I was trying to find a book with James Hansen that I borrowed out to a friend of mine many years ago, and I never got it in return, and that book is nowhere to be found. It's like it was never printed. So I started to think that maybe it was in another alternative reality, like the Mandela effect. So that is what can happen if we don't do the work necessary. The people that do the work that's necessary, they will move on into that dimension, and in that dimension you died, and they think you died, and they move on. But you are actually here in this other dimension where you need to like be pushed and pushed and pushed again to go through struggles and challenges to finally be able to do this sacrifice. Okay. Well, I'm going to tune in now. Too much information maybe. I think this month, Aries, I feel Aries in March, it feels amazing. So I'm thinking you will, you have a real chance here to do something great. Okay, so that is your future, this is your now, this is your past. We have a Knight of Swords here. Knight of Swords might be you being involved with the Gemini. Knight of Swords energy is very smart, very quick-minded. Sometimes it's a little bit suspicious energy, being able to see every different possible outcome, like all these dimensions, being able to see if I do this, I will end up in this kind of future. If I do this, this will happen. If I do this, this will happen. And that person can do this, they can do that, they can do this. So a person that has this kind of train of thought being very rapid can be very suspicious because they see all the possibilities. And Knight of Swords is also a little bit reckless, so sometimes they don't care about the consequences. So they just try everything. They act this way in the morning, that way in the evening, and you sometimes wonder if do you know this person at all. But it's because there's so much running through this person. It's like they're receiving messages and kind of processing it like a computer and spitting out new answers. So it's very interesting energy there. Okay, and this is the now. So this is the Two of Swords. So it might be that you have like there's a silent treatment between you, maybe in an air sign or another fire sign. We have also seen Scorpio and Taurus. So this is Libra. Also the Queen of Swords is Libra. So I'm thinking maybe you are tired of thinking with the Knight of Swords there and the Two of Swords. It might be that I don't have it in me to try to find a solution. I have tried everything. I tried every possible thing known to man and God, and still I get the same stupid result. So we kind of stop doing things, and that's sometimes the solution. When you have tried everything and then you stop doing anything and you just move on with your life, and you don't work on the dream or the problem that you try to solve, a solution or progress will be made by divine forces taking over your burden. Okay, so sometimes you need to do a little and the divine does a lot. So I'm thinking if you have done everything, this is the right way to go into a little bit of finding inner peace instead of anxiously trying to fix something that refuses to be fixed. Okay, and this is your future, and we have a Three of Swords, so it doesn't seem that like the party isn't on. It's the Three of Swords, but I'm thinking here this is person accepting reality. Okay, accepting that I have tried everything, I have tried every possible solution. Now I'm not going to try anything. I'm actually going to face the thing I have tried to avoid, and that is heartbreak. So for example, if you have being with a partner, you don't seem to get along. There's trouble either in communication or commitment, or maybe you don't see the same future. It can be different kind of things. It can be also personal problems like aggression problems or abandonment issue. There's a big forest of problems that can be made in a relationship, and you didn't want to sacrifice that relationship. It can also be a place of work or a career or a dream in general, something you wanted, a house, a car, whatever kind of dream you have, okay? And here you accept the loss of this, that, okay, there's nothing I can do. So I accept the loss. And that is actually bringing up some old wound, some old trauma, maybe from your childhood or from a past life even, or from a previous situation, and that now gets the opportunity to be healed. Because when we are trying to run away from hurt and pain, we are kind of just pushing it. We procrastinate dealing with it. So here you have tried to avoid maybe a truth that you already probably have figured out here. You just didn't want to, you kind of didn't want to accept fully the truth that maybe this is over. I'm thinking here you start to do just that. Okay, so it's over. I can't do anything more. I have tried everything. And then the pain comes of the loss. Of the dream, the thing that you wanted to happen, you wanted something to happen like now or in the future, you were aiming towards getting this to happen, but here it doesn't. So this is a very profound position to be in, because when you do this, when you accept, when you don't resist anymore, when you accept the truth, you embrace the truth, you yield, that's a very powerful spiritual energy to send out, because this is like, okay, I have done all I can with this. Now it's up to the divine. So this, when you capitulate like this, you just give in to the truth. You have convinced yourself that this is not solvable. The truth is that this is not solvable, and you accept the pain. You actually sacrifice a big part of your ego. You accept that you don't have control. You accept that you can't change everything with your own energy, and you leave it up to other people to also take responsibility in this, and also the divine to take responsibility in this. And it's not like you're a victim. It's more like you are brave enough to face the truth and the possible heartbreak. And this is the past. We have the Lovers here. I think it has come from, for a lot of people, the Lovers in this position, or in some, like in the reading overall, but up here a lot, or maybe here. So this is also Gemini energy. So it's showing the duality of things, like how this the Gemini mind, making you being able to see everything, also brings a lot of things to the surface that can be debated and processed. So in relationships, we have this debate and this process, and it's kind of a spiritual sadhana, a road to spiritual enlightenment, because when we are alone, when we are single, we don't meet people that deeply or intimate, that always rub us the wrong way and make us feel in ways that we never feel with anyone else, like abandoned, hysterical, anxious. So it brings up a lot of things here, because in a love relationship we are vulnerable, and that gives us the chance to work on issues we can't work in any other kind of relationship. Sometimes we can work with these kind of issues, for example, with our parents and our children as well. But it's very powerful with this romantic love relationships, because they have this power to bring up your issues. And here we have a Five of Cups. So Five of Cups is disappointment, becoming disappointed on someone. You had certain expectations on this person which they couldn't fulfill, and now here in the past you had to deal with the disappointment of it all. And that's also it's like you are on a very advanced training program to be able to deal with disappointment, maybe abandonment, heartbreak. And this is a really advanced spiritual teaching, because when you can become peaceful also in the midst of being abandoned or betrayed or heartbroken, then you have really done your homework. Okay. And it's the road there. That's the great part. There's no badge for you when you have done this, more than the happiness of being done. But the road here, it gives you so much experience, and you realize how strong you are, and how much assets you have, and talents, and solutions, and creativity, and how resourceful you are. So I'm thinking this has been hard on you, but I think also it has shown you who you are. And here we have the sun. It's two twins here again. So many of you will be dealing with a Gemini, but this card is usually connected with Leo. We also had a sun here in the Lovers card, and this is the highest card for love in the whole deck, showing kind of two whole people joining in holy matrimony. And these are whole because they just came out of heaven, so they haven't been so stomped on just yet, but it's like going full circle and eventually coming back to this childlike state, like being like the Buddha or a really old person that kind of becomes innocent again, like a child. And this is when you have become whole. So I'm thinking this journey of disappointments have been aimed to make you whole, and I think this have actually been very successful. And also love is still there, even if the person made you disappointed. I think you are soulmates, and you came down here to do this work together. So even if you have a little bit of feeling that they were this thorn in your side, they are still like your greatest companion. Might have been a companion you for eons, thousands and thousands of years. You might have lived yet another lifetime together, and when you're not here, you're probably being in unconditional love together. But when we come down to earth, it's a little bit trouble with relationship because we have contrast here, so we are able to see ourselves. Thorn in my side, that's Eurythmics. I think it came for another of the sun signs as well. And here we have the Hierophant, the Taurus energy, the society, your culture, your tradition, commitment, being married, having a tribe. So I'm thinking, even if this person has made you disappointed, they are still your tribe, okay? With the Queen of Swords energy, it might be that air sign, Aquarius is usually Libra, can be Gemini as well. We have seen a lot of Gemini here, might have turned their back on you, or you might have done this towards them because you are fed up with the situation where you have tried so many different things and didn't succeed. So even if you're Aries, I think you might have dealt with a person that has a little bit air sign quality, and now you have learned to become a little bit more like an air sign, becoming more logic, and because Aries wants to take a problem, solve it and fix it and move on. And sometimes when you're dealing with other people, they are just not a problem you can fix. You can't force them to change. So here I think you have been able to face logic and see what's needed to be done in this situation, which might be painful but totally necessary. And there's still so much love here. So there's a possibility that this relationship will survive every other, okay? And the Hierophant there, here we have the Sun, holy matrimony, Two of Cups, a Hierophant. So it looks like a marriage or a strong commitment. But we also saw the Death card several times. With also here we have the Five of Cups. So there's a little bit trouble in paradise. And that's in the past. So there's a very strong foundation or very strong love. Nothing that you can, whoosh away like this. Okay. And here we have a Six of Swords, and it comes underneath 6, the Lovers. So this is about expressing how you truly feel without protecting yourself so much, but still, being in self-respect and self-honor. So for example, we can say, I love you, I do want to marry you and commit to you, but you have made me very disappointed. In some way, this person has made you very disappointed, and it might be that you feel that they don't love you the same way, they don't want the same things as you, or there might be some other problem. So you're going to say, I love you, but I don't feel the same way back, that you love me back, or we have these issues that we need to work on if we are going to continue together. So it's like not being a love fool, but actually standing up for the love that you truly want. So a little bit sacrificing the lesser dream for the bigger dream. You want this person, but maybe you don't want to live forever always becoming disappointed again and again. All people are always going to disappoint us to some degree, but we want to at least see that they are trying to work on it and they are doing progress, not taking one step back and one step forward and five step back, because then they don't really have the will to work on it. And you need to have a will to work on this as well. The fives here, it shows how problematic it can be to live in a society, because we have the Five of Cups, that's disappointment, the Five of Swords that we saw before, one stealing another person's stuff, winning over them, taking an upper position, a little bit what we can see here with these two and that person. This person have fought their way up to the top and can now feel secure that they are so much more worth than other people, but that's not true, of course. But in society, we can take those shortcuts to feel good about ourselves instead of having to do the real spiritual work. We also have the Five of Wands, 2 different or 5, 10 different wills trying to build something together. And it makes it interesting because it's also connected with the Alchemist card, kind of being a scientist and mixing things together, compromising and fertilizing, and it's coming new ideas through this competition. And then we also have the Five of Pentacles, when we feel left out in the cold because this person decides that we are not good enough and we need to be in the way that they have decided to be able to be at their feet. In other case, we will cast out and not belong to society anymore. So there's a lot of injustice in relationships with other people, but this is something that's there so we can grow, and we can also learn to speak the truth here. For example, if we are dealing with a person that's a little bit of a know-it-all and put themselves on a very high position, you know, I seen the flag on the Marble Arch, love is not a victory march. So you might be able to say exactly this to this person, that I see that you have put yourself in a very safe position. This is not going to save you. I believe that you need to express yourself and show as much vulnerability as I in this relationship, because in my world, you don't hold a higher value than me, and I'm not supposed to, you know, carry you just because you are lazy and or scared and don't want to express yourself fully. So sometimes the truth can be a little bit pointy like that, but it's still the truth. And here we have the Hangman underneath the disappointment there with the Five of Cups. So I'm thinking there will take some time before you can reach through a very stubborn person's like ego walls and shelters, and they might have armor and shields and weapons, and so there's a lot of things that needs to be penetrated before we can reach this person and actually have a communication with them that they can understand, because right now they have just put themselves in a very elevated position where they are kind of unreachable. And the Hangman is a stage where nothing really happens, and we have left the situation over to God to deal with. So time will make maybe this person see that they need to also give a little bit to have something. Sometimes people like this, they end up on their deathbed or really old and think, oh, I should have spent more time with my children. I should have been more with my family. I should have told that boy there that I loved him and I shouldn't have become so angry with him because he wanted to do that thing. Okay, so we can have a lot of regrets, and that is how the hangman teaches us. Okay, so it can take a whole lifetime for us to learn this, and next life hopefully we will have this in our instinct, and we will feel, no, I can't jeopardize this situation because I can lose this person, and I know now how that feel. So before we went through the hangman, we don't have that experience. Afterwards, hopefully we have. And then we are able to make even better and better and better decisions because they are built under with more and more experience. So we know how heartbreak feels or this disappointment feels. So we might not want to have other people feel like this, and we don't want to feel like this ourselves. So we do the best we can, like with this Knight of Swords energy here with the Six of Swords, to make us as clear as possible, to avoid misunderstandings and really see that we have gotten through to this person, or this in this situation we have done everything we could to make it prosperous. And then we have done everything we can, and it's kind of up to this other person or other circumstances or the divine to do the rest. But this kind of experience, it comes to a great cost, but it's so valuable. And here we have the Hermit, and it comes underneath the sun, and he kind of has the sun there in his lantern. So it shows a person using their soul to get to know themselves. So I'm thinking this is a situation where you might love a person to bits and pieces, but you realize that you can't make them change. They can't make you change. This needs to be a spiritual process where we kind of get to know each other first better. And then we can come back to a situation where we can be in relationship again and see what we have both learned. So here I'm thinking you are getting to know yourself better. It's a very spiritual situation, but not easy because it's the sun, the hangman, the hermit. So it's showing you kind of see the truth of everything, but you can't do anything about it. So you just need to deal with the truth of it all and just accept that this is how it is. And it's not what I wanted, but it's what I got. So I need to deal with it. Next here is a little Knave of Swords underneath the Two of Chalices. So this is a little bit difficult energy here because this person wants to do some kind of rebellion, and we can see that these two people are turning their back a little bit towards each other. They are standing side by side, but it's like this person is focused on their spiritual growth. This person is focused on the flag on the Marble Arch and being on this victory march. So they want to play chess with you. They want to win over you still, because it's like a child. This person here that sits on the throne, it's also a child, spiritually wise. They are children because they haven't learned that we should find inner peace no matter outer circumstances. So this person needs to be very well taken care of and pampered like a baby to feel that things are okay. If he would lose his position, if people wouldn't listen to him, he will think he has lost his value and he might want to die. It's like life isn't worth living anymore if I'm not pampered like a baby. And this person wants to get to this position, and he or her is very smart to plan and calculate and manipulate and fix and say certain words, hold back certain information, get certain information. It's almost like a little bit of a spy energy because he wants to reach to this. It's a little bit of a student. He wants to study how to get your flag up there on the Marble Arch. So this is an energy of a child. This is a person that have gone through hell and back and therefore become a very spiritual person. So it's two different people I'm feeling in this reading. It can, of course, be two of your different personalities as well, since there's a lot of Gemini twin energy here. This might also be a twin flame, where one twin has been going on a very spiritual, humble road, and maybe learned all about poverty, all about chivalry, love, all about inner peace, all about being abandoned, being a victim, being like all these kind of things. And the other person have learned how to be a ruler, how to be a perpetrator, how to get power. And now, so it's like the humanity's heart have split it into two dimensional roads, and now they're coming back, and these two energies kind of equally valuable, because each side is needed. Even if we can judge this person and say that they are a child, they are just a child when it comes to vulnerability and the spiritual part of it all. They are very skilled when it comes to seeing danger ahead and surviving. So they have we can say that they have walked a little bit more a caveman kind of walk and learned to become very great survivalists. While this person, they might not be so much survivalists, they are more accepting death and change and accepting that whatever is, and I trust in God, and I trust in my soul to guide me in the right direction, and whatever comes is fine. So these two people are eventually going to have to learn from each other here, and this is why twin flames are brought to the earth in the same time now. So we can battle these things out and ignite each other. So this person ignites this person with true spiritual growth, not the spiritual growth that means church have all the power, the king and the church have all the power and the people are slaves. It's not that kind of thing. And this person learned to probably not give in or give themselves for free. They want this person to also be able to engage themselves and not be so spoiled or sitting on their high horse or their high throne. The love is equal from both people. I think this person is a little bit more disappointed at that person. And this person might not realize why this person suddenly turns away from them and kind of go into hibernation. They might think that everything was fine. I was feeling very pampered and I felt very loved, and I felt like you really worship the ground I walked on. So why did you change? So they might think that I'm hearing some kind of melody here. Yeah, it's you lost that loving feeling. So they feel that this person have lost their loving feeling. It's also hearing many songs. I don't know how many I'm going to put up in your description box. It's also, I heard it to the grapevine, not much longer will you be mine. So this is how this person is feeling. So they are starting to feel a little bit scared, and they might want to know information, but they are kind of acting cool about it and doesn't want to show that they are worried, but they love you very much. If you are this person, they are very deeply in love with you. It's just that they are used to getting a lot from giving nothing. So they want to continue that. They don't want to start to pay a price for getting all these wonderful things that you previously gave them for free. They never understood that you gave it for free and you expected the same thing in return, that both people to have some kind of consensus. We both try our best and turn the other cheek to the other person's little cockiness, and we try our best to see to that there's harmony and everyone is happy. This person is just aimed towards becoming happy themselves. They haven't learned to taking real good care of others just yet. And here we have a Four of Pentacles. So this person is going to continue fighting for keeping their position. They don't want to give in, okay? So there's going to be a separation, I'm thinking, because of this. Even if the love is so deep, it's going to be a separation because this person doesn't want to give away their power position. So they're a little bit like a miser there, sitting on the throne, trying to figure out desperately what is going on and why you suddenly lost that loving feeling. But it's not like that. It's more like you just, okay, I accept that this is the truth. I accept that I can't get through to this person. They can't understand what I'm saying. They don't understand how it feels for me because they have never lived through those kind of feelings. They might have, but it was thousands and thousands of years ago, and now after that they have been very keen on putting themselves in ruler positions, so they will never have to experience that again. But you have probably walked a more humble road and learned to accept that life is not always going in your favor, and that has made you a very spiritual advanced person that are able to go through big challenges and still keep your cool or your dignity in some way, and not become a big baby. So I'm not feeling anger or bitterness here. It's acceptance I'm feeling. It's like a person accepting that, well, this is a no-go. So they just accept, and it's kind of beautiful because I feel that they are doing this God's work here by maybe depriving this person of their little blankie or rabbit or whatever they need to feel calm, and that is going to help this person evolve. And here we have Justice. So and it comes underneath the Lovers and the Six of Swords. So it's about chivalry love. And you need to understand that sometimes we can't just give love for the sake of having this other person. There's a universal law that like kind of overrides the human law, and you so dearly want this person to love you back, and you can take the crumbs from this person's table. But here the divine says no, you are going to see to that there's justice now, and you are going to give yourself justice, and by that you are going to awaken this person, and that's your job. And it's kind of not negotiable. So you can't just, well, if I bend my head a little bit more, if I put my nose a little bit more into the carpet and let them step all over me, maybe they will stay. And they will probably stay, but they will keep on making you disappointed. And the divine says no, this is no dignity in this. You need to love this person and say the loving thing, but also saying the things that's the truth here with the Two of Swords and Six of Swords and the Hangman, that you kind of had enough. So also notice 11, 12, and then we have 19, the Sun. So 19 is 10. So actually we have 10, 11, 12 here. And Ace of Wands. So Ace of Wands is you kind of taking back your power, is what I'm feeling from this disappointment. Through this sacrifice, you take back your power. So this person can't hold you in their grasp anymore, and kind of have your love to bargain with. Well, don't you want the big love that's between us? Then you need to work for it. I don't have to work for it because I sit here on my throne or on my high horse with my flag on top. But here you just know, okay, so if it's so easy for you to sacrifice our love, it's so easy for me to sacrifice it as well. I'm going to restore justice, and you do it as it's have sole purpose, okay, with the Ace of Wands there. And here we have the Ten of Wands. You remember we got the Queen of Swords together with the Ten of Wands, and it's kind of this energy I'm seeing here. Queen of Swords, she's of course justice, that's Libra. A Sun here is also truth, as is Queen of Swords knows the truth. And she's also a little bit of a hermit. Hell is other people. That's how the Queen of Swords might feel sometimes, because she sees things. She's very advanced in her thinking. She can see things and the consequences that other people can't. So I'm thinking, even though you are fire, you have been able to see these consequences, and you're a little bit sad that you feel a little bit alone, a little bit alienated, because it's like you are the only one seeing the consequences and what will come out of this, because you realize that this person is not going to be happy on their throne all alone without that great love. It's just that they haven't learned to value this great love. And here you're super fed up, we can say, with the Ten of Wands. So you're probably going to just give up on this person and walk away. Just put down all the heavy burden of carrying this great love and this relationship all on your own shoulders. And well, kind of it's like you're dumping their stuff on their porch. Okay. And here we have the Queen of Swords, and this is when we are walking away. I think the other person is going to kind of have the same approach, also continue acting like they don't care. They do care. You both care. You have the Sun above here, and this person have the Two of Cups. So both of you care, but you are both playing a high-stake game right now, that you rather sacrifice the relationship than, in this case, yourself, and in this case, their position, because they want to have unequal scales. They need to be the pampered baby, and you need to be the slave, and that's how society should work, because then it feels great for me, says this person. And so they are going to do everything in their power to keep this position and continue acting like they don't care. And then we have a Nine of Pentacles. So Nine of Pentacles shows kind of both of you going into a singles situation, and neither of you are not allowed, and the other person is not going to engage in this relationship, is what I'm seeing. So it's a little bit sad, but it's kind of probably a long story to come here. The Hangman is talking about a long period of time. It can take years before this person, it can take to their dying days before they realize what they have done. And you are going to have to face heartbreak and accept that the dream is kind of over. It's a very sad reading for sure, but if we read this as only you and not this other person, it kind of says that because you do this great sacrifice, you will reach this position. So you will automatically do the thing you were supposed to do. First, you were supposed to give unconditional love, built this foundation, and here you were supposed to sacrifice it, and you just take this person's home. Now you have your flag on top, and it's on the marble arch, and you are not going to take it down because that's their job. Okay, that's their job on these scales. Okay, their job is to learn humbleness. Their job is to learn to find inner peace without other people fulfilling their needs. Their job is to start to love unconditionally, and that's not going to happen like so. So therefore, this reading ends a little bit sad, but it kind of ends with you with a flag on top. So that's a great thing. Okay. So I'm going to take a card from the notes from the universe on love and connection and see what they are truly feeling about you or thinking about you. Maybe we'll see what comes. I'm thinking it's actually these two cards, and it's love in spite of it all. Before this odyssey ever began, there was you, your best friends, and wide-eyed curiosity among you about who would be the first to leap, the first to forget, the first to kiss, the first to tell, the first to fall, the first to get back up, and the first to remember that it all began with a dare to love in spite of it all. Is that you, Mergatroyd, the universe? Psst, I remember the glint in your eyes, all three of them. So this is talking about the stage you both were in before you came down to Earth, very eager to start with this mission. And now you feel like, well, I regret everything. I just want to go home. Beam me up, Scotty. No beam comes. And it's so clear that this person needs to learn how to love in spite of it all, because now they have just learned how to survive, and that's not their whole mission. You need to learn a little bit better how to survive, though, and take better care of yourself. And that you have options is meaningful. Rock on. So they are feeling like, it's like they are like this. There's plenty fish in the sea. So they are acting very cool here and act like they don't care, but that won't go on forever. It's just their survival skill, having a certain momentum. Now it's up to God to deal with this person and up to you to take as good care of yourself as this person has taught you how to do. Okay. If I could have just 2 wishes, I'd wish I could somehow convey to you the profound depths of my gratitude for every moment of your life. I'd also wish that you could somehow know of your unimaginable importance just as you now are to the lives of so very many. And of course, I wish for even more wishes. Oh shoot. You were such a good idea. So the universe is kind of telling you here that yes, this person is going to act very casually about this, but the mission that you have both here is very super important. If you as elevated souls can go down in these energies and fix it, that would be a great thing. Okay, that could be the survival or the non-survival of Earth. So that is what's in the balance just with you having this relationship issue. So by you fixing this, being able to fix this, our whole human condition will be fixed. It just takes 100 monkeys to learn one thing for every monkey to know the thing. Okay, so this is how you feel about this person, and it's a lot of cards, but okay, it's this too. Keep it simple. So you have your survival skill, which is keep it simple. It's like, yeah, okay, so this is my life now, and this is what I have, and I will do the best of it. I will cherish every day, and always get myself back into inner peace, taking real good care of me, taking care of all my possibilities, putting one step forward towards after the other towards my new goal, because I'm thinking there's going to be a little bit of a pause for you where you will have time to build on your own life in a very prosperous way, kind of what we see here. Keep it simple. All souls use words very sparingly, except of course for I, love, thank you, wow, now, and cool. Wow, I love you now, the universe, which sounds much better than wow, now I love you. Sequence is important. So this message kind of says that it says that you want to keep it simple. You don't want to play games. You don't want to sit on the throne with your flag on the top on the marble arch. This person here, either it's you or not, if it's the other person, wants to keep it simple. That's their thing. They are used to kind of not, they don't want to have the big burdens of owning a big castle and ruling hundreds of servants and have to, you know, manipulate and scheme all the time. That's no, keep it simple. This is what flies for this person, and that's what comes natural, but they are going to have to learn a little bit more about this, even if they don't seem to have the energy right now, because this person has exhausted themselves to make this person be able to show love. And well, that didn't work as of now, but hopefully this will make its mark into the future. Dwell on what you love. Dwell on what you love. Okay. Asking someone to change is like pruning a tree. Neither will ever be the same again. Scarier still is that you can't quite know in what new direction they will grow. I wouldn't change a leaf on you, the universe. So it's also saying that kind of accept that this person are what they are, and they were probably born like this because we needed people like this, so we ourselves here, the simple people, could grow even further. Okay, so and also it's kind of telling you to prepare for that this person might never be your reward. Okay, in one dimension of this universe they are going to be your reward, but in many others they are not. They are actually going to take this, what you have taught them, into a new relationship, and you might see them so darn happy with this new person, and all that you have learned them come this other person to benefit and not to you, and you wish you could take it all back and that they will end with their face down in the gutter. But instead try to be loyal with your sisters and brothers out there, and know that you did this. You gave them this possibility, because I have seen this thousands of times. People refusing, for example, communication. I don't want to talk about that. We talked about it last week. It didn't lead to anything. I don't want to talk. And then you meet them 10 years later. They are with this new partner and they say, oh, it's so important to communicate. I've learned that. And why they learned that was because this first partner gave up on them because of their failure to communicate. And this new partner, yes, have benefit from it, but the whole world has benefit from it, and not just them. Okay, so you made the world a better place. Be grateful. So spiritual advice for Aries. So I feel it's this, and actually this card, believe in dreams. We have strength here also, and here and now. So but that, I think, is something you already have accomplished. You have a lot of mindfulness energy, and with the strength here, it's kind of the Sun and the Six of Swords making you, and Ace of Swords making you very strong into accepting your here and now and moving on towards this new, like acting accordingly with the truth, with great honor, great self-respect, and great strength. So this is what I'm feeling with those cards. But I'm going to read these for you. Believe in dreams and letting go. So you're not supposed to give up the bigger dream, you know. You just sacrifice this part of it because it didn't work, okay? You did everything and it didn't work. So you sacrifice this part of it, but you don't sacrifice the whole dream. You kind of give up this love or this career for a greater love or a greater career that's more suiting and not going to make you so darn disappointed all the time. You may be encountering some obstacles and challenges which you feel are standing in the way between you and your dreams. Don't be disheartened. Your efforts will soon be rewarded. Continue to do whatever you can to move towards achieving your dream. Even the smallest step will make a big difference at this time. If you don't feel supported by those around you, draw on your own inner strength. And do the believing for them. Acknowledge your value and fill your mind with positive thoughts about your future success. I remain confident and determined even in the face of challenges. I draw on my inner strength to help me keep focused on my dreams. I rejoice in the success that is coming to me. The dream is still there, and I think it will actually be rather easy for you to accomplish it. It will just take a little bit of time, because first you need to make it very uncomfortable for you on the top there. And 42, letting go. So this is the difficult part sometimes. Let go and let God. The stress you are feeling is a result of your struggle and resistance. Instead of fighting against the current, allow the river of life to carry you to your destiny. Everything happens for a reason. Trust that you are in safe hands and always on the right track. I trust in the wisdom of the universe. I go with the flow. So this is the part when you give up this struggle and let it be the divine struggle instead, because, okay, you've done it all. So hands up, I yield. I give up my resistance. I'm not going to fight for this anymore. I let go, and I let myself now be rewarded for my great work which I have done. So this struggle will have, it's like when you hold something for a very, very long time and you let it go, life will feel so much easier. Okay, you will feel light on your foot and stronger than ever and more capable than ever, and you have no one to kind of continue letting you down. So I'm thinking your life will become amazing. It's not going to become in the way you planned, but it's going to be amazing. And some other have the same struggle that you have gone through. They have this in front of them. So you have kind of released yourself from some karma, and they have this still in front of them. Okay. So it's like you're going to steal their castle here. So I hope this helped. I want you to take really good care. I also want to welcome you back to my April reading that I will perform in the middle of March. I will also do some pick a card readings, so keep on the lookout for those. And until then, Make it cozy in your new castle. Okay, bye-bye.